Actually, your before madam is on leave today, so she adjusted her class to me, and she has uploaded some quiz in the testilator, and she asked me to give half an hour of time to attempt that quiz. And don't worry, I mean, not even a single class was held, and why and what this quiz means. So she has uploaded only the general questions related to business, and she is asking you to update, attempt that question. So I'll give you half an hour time to attempt that quiz. Total time for this class is 1 hour, and in that 1 hour I'll give you half an hour to attempt BEFA quiz. Now tell me, in the remaining half an hour, should I continue, I mean, should I deliver the DM lecture continuation to morning's class, or shall I give you some assignment questions, something like I'll give you some problems and you have to, what we call, draw the truth tables for that. You want me to give some assignment practice problems, or you want me to continue the lecture in the half an hour? You tell me, ma. Whichever you want me to do, I'll do that. If you want to do practice, I'll give you some practice problems, or else I'll continue the class. Am I audible? Please respond. Tell me, ma. Shall I give you problems, or I'll continue the class? Shall I continue the class? Okay. Okay then. I'll take the class. In the morning session, we have discussed how to design a truth table for a given compound preposition, and if a English statement is given, how to write the equivalent logical expression. And we also discussed what exactly is a preposition, what are prepositional variables, prepositional statements, and replacement laws also we have discussed in the morning class. And along with that, we have discussed what is a negation, contrapositive, converse, inverse, tautology, contradiction, so and so. All these topics we have discussed in the morning class, right? And what I told you in the morning is, what I told you in the morning class, I told you that we can say any two compound prepositions are one minute. Yes, ma'am. So I told you in the morning class that whenever two compound prepositions were given, we can say them illogically equivalent. Whenever for every combination of truth value, if they are giving you the same result, then we can say them logically equivalent. And this we can prove by using two methods. First method is just by constructing the truth tables. What we have to do when two prepositions were given, two compound prepositions were given. For every compound preposition, we have to construct the truth table. And the last column in the truth table is to be compared with the last column of the second preposition. If they are same for every combination of the truth values, then we can say them they are logically equivalent. But this is not acceptable method for every time. So for what we are doing, to prove that whether they are logically equivalent or not, we will use a method called as replacement process. We will use a replacement process where we'll be using different replacement laws. What are those replacement laws? We have seen they are like idempotent law, identity law, domination law, double negotiation, commutative, distributive, so on and so. All these laws we have discussed in the morning class. And when you observe these laws, all these laws are applied on negation as well as on the disjunction, on the negation and conjunction and disjunction and on negation, but not on conditional statement, but not on biconditional statement. Just observe these laws, ma. So whichever the law you consider, so they are just applied on negation or disjunction or on conjunction, right? So now whenever these laws are applied on conditional statement or on biconditional statement, let us see how they will be, right? First of all, we'll see the equivalences, the logical equivalences on conditional statements. Logical equivalences on conditional statement, right? See them, ma. Conditional statement means what? P tends to Q is one conditional statement. It is something like if P, then Q. If P, then Q. So P tends to Q is logically equivalent to negation P or Q. This is very, very important, ma. These two, the first two will be using most of the times in our replacement process. The first two are very important. So P tends to Q. That depending on our requirement, we'll use either the first law or the second equation we'll be using. So P tends to Q is equal to negation P or Q. And it is also logically equivalent to negation Q tends to negation P. P tends to Q is logically equivalent to negation Q tends to negation P. Now, can anyone tell me for a conditional statement P tends to Q, the negation Q tends to negation P is called what? If P tends to Q is a conditional statement, negation Q tends to negation P is known as what? Contrapositive. Yes, contrapositive. We have discussed in the morning class. So negation Q tends to negation P is a contrapositive of a given conditional statement. And there only I told you that the truth table of contrapositive and conditional statement both are same. Therefore, we can say that they are logically equivalent. So P tends to Q is logically equivalent to negation Q tends to negation P. But converse and inverse are not logically equivalent to this conditional statement P tends to Q. So P tends to Q is equal to negation P union Q, and it is also equal to negation Q tends to negation P. Similarly, P or Q can be written using conditional statement as negation P tends to Q. See here, ma. In the first example, just I have written it in reverse order. If you write negation P tends to Q, negation P tends to Q is equal to P tends to Q. If you say that negation P or Q is logically equal to P tends to Q, you can say that P or Q is logically equivalent to negation P tends to Q. If you get a negation here, you won't get a negation in the conditional statement. If you get a negation in the conditional statement, you don't get a negation in the OR statement. Right? That is the simple technique to remember. Right? So you have to remember the first two marks. One more thing. P and Q is equal to negation of Q tends to negation P. And these we have. In all these, the first two are mostly useful, but you have to remember all one. This is simple mark. Just distributive law I have applied here. When you observe this last four, I have just applied a distributive law. What do you mean by distributive law? See here. So P or Q and R can be distributed like this. How I have distributed this AND operation? I have distributed how P or Q and P or OR. In the same way, the conditional statement is distributed here. So here, if you see that P tends to Q and R, I can distribute this AND operation between two conditional terms like P tends to Q and P tends to R. That is what I have written here. Similarly, here P or Q tends to R. So, whenever you are distributing this, what we call conditional statement, this R will become AND or will become AND. So, it will become P tends to R and Q tends to R and Q tends to R. So these are the logical equivalences on conditional statement. In the same way, on biconditional statement also we have some logical equivalences. They are B double tends to Q is equal to P tends to Q and Q tends to P. This is also will be used most of the times. The first one also will use most of the times. And one more is P double tends to Q is equal to negation P tends to negation Q. It means these two are logically equivalent. So like this, we have 4 logical equivalences on biconditional statement and 8 logical equivalences on conditional statement. You have to remember all these equivalents along with the equivalences on R and operation. All this you have to remember. Then only your replacement process will be easy to show whether the given prepositions are equivalent or not. Clear? Now, let us see one example. Using the replacement process, show that the given prepositions, first one is negation of P or negation P and Q. This is one compound preposition. Second one is negation P and negation Q. Prove that these two are equivalent. If you don't know this replacement law, how we have proved them? You have constructed a truth table for this compound preposition and we have also constructed a truth table for the second compound preposition and we have just compared the last column in this truth table, last column of the second composition truth table. If they are same, we will say that they are equal. But we should not use that in our examination. Most of the times they will expect this answer only. Using the replacement clause, they will ask you to prove whether they are equal or not. So see, first one way is take the first preposition and convert this preposition to get this second preposition. Then we can say that they are equivalent. First take the first given preposition which is negation of P or negation P and Q. Okay. See this one. How I have. And you know what is the symbol used for equivalence. Either you can use 3 dashed lines or you can use this double lines with the 2-sided arrow. Any of the symbol you can use. So this is logically equivalent to what I am doing is, now whenever you are performing the replacement process in your given preposition, first identify whether there are any conditional or biconditional statement. If there exists any conditional or biconditional statement, you need to remove the conditional and biconditional statements and try to write them using and or operation. Like suppose if a conditional statement is there in your proposition, then you can use this first formula. If you observe that P tends to Q is there in the proposition, you can just you replace this P tends to Q with negation P or Q, right? So similarly, if any biconditional statement is there, something like this, then you can write like this. You can replace P double tends to Q as P tends to Q and Q tends to P. After that, if you find any conditional statement, you know how to convert a conditional statement into or and prepositions using or and preposition and connectors, right? So first convert this biconditional into conditional, and then conditional is to be converted into using or variables, or connective and connectors, right? So here, after that, you use De Morgan's law and distributives law wherever applicable to get the required answer. Now, in my example, I don't have any conditional variables, conditional statement and biconditional statement. So what I'll do is, I'll just what we call this negation can be applied to individual variables. I'll apply this negation to individual variable. Now, whenever the outer negation is applied to the inner terms, the inner, here we have a or symbol, right? So this or symbol will become an and symbol. This or will become and. That means conjunction will become disjunction. Disjunction will become conjunction, right? So see here now. So now it becomes negation P and negation of this inner term. What is that inner term? Negation of negation P and Q. This is by using the De Morgan's law. Right? Next, this is as it is negation P and just try to simplify the inner term. Again, distribute this negation to individual terms using the De Morgan's law. Then it becomes negation of negation P. This and will become or. So negation Q. Again, simplify it. Negation P and negation of negation, double negation. So these two negation will get cancelled. Leftover will be P or negation Q. Now, what is you need to get? What is the answer you have to get? Negation P and negation Q you have to get. Negation P and negation Q. So what I'll do is, I'll just apply a distributive law. That means this OR operation I am distributing. I am distributing this OR operation. Now you'll get negation P and P or negation P and negation Q. Negation P and P means what? Using the negation law. If P, here it is an AND operation. If P is true, then negation P becomes false. If P is false, negation P becomes true. That means if one of the value is false, then for AND operation, the result is false only. Right? So now it becomes false F or negation P and negation Q. F union something. Or means what? If at least one value is true, then the result will be true. Here, one value is false. One value is concluded that it is a false variable. So, the result always depends on the second term. What is your second term? Second term is negation P and negation Q. Negation P and negation Q. So, after simplifying the given compound preposition, we got the answer as negation P and negation Q, which is our second preposition. Therefore, we can say that given two prepositions are logically equivalent. Is it clear, ma? So, whenever two compound prepositions are given, and if you are asked you to prove that whether they are equivalent or not using the replacement process, first what you need to do is, if there are any conditional statements or biconditional statements in the given preposition, first you need to eliminate them. After that, use De Morgan's law or distribution law depending on the requirement. Is it clear for everyone? See one more example. Using the replacement law, show that P tends to Q and R tends to Q is logically equivalent to PRR tends to Q. Right? So here in our given compound preposition, we have found some conditional statement. These two are the conditional statements. So first what you need to do, we always try to remove the conditional statements and by conditional. So you know what P tends to Q is logically equivalent to what? We have seen the laws, logical equivalence laws on conditional statement. So P tends to Q is logically equivalent to negation P or Q. P tends to Q is negation equal to negation P union Q. Apply the same formula here. So it is, I'll write this P tends to Q as negation P or Q, and this and will be as it is. Next, R tends to Q can be written as negation R or Q. Clear? Now, this can again simplify like this. So what I'm doing is, we should, in your answer, Q should be at one place, P and R should be at one place. In the final answer, you should get P and R at one place, Q at one place. But here we have P and Q at one place, R and Q at one place. That is the reason what I am doing is, I am just combining, I am trying to put P and R at one place. See how you can write? Here, in these two individual terms, we have the same or symbol. Therefore, it is possible. I can write this as negation P and negation R. And this Q is same. So these two Q's I'll put at one place. Negation P and negation R. And what is this symbol? Or symbol. Or Q and Q. Q and Q will be equal to Q only. Now negation P and negation R union Q. Just take out this negation common. Then this and symbol will becomes or symbol. Negation of P or R or Q. So in the first line only we have seen. Here you should get your answer which contains the conditional statement, but here you don't have the conditional statement. That is the reason what I am doing is, I am converting this into conditional. You know P tends to Q is equal to negation P union Q. So here you just consider this P union R as one term, as P. So negation P union Q is equal to what? P tends to Q. Therefore, I can write this as PRR tends to Q. You don't have any specific, any particular steps to be followed in this replacement process now. Depending on our requirement, we'll use whichever the formula is applicable. Depending on the requirement, we'll use the required formula. There is no particular sequence, or there is no particular sequence that this formula has to be used after this and these are the conditions. I mean, we have to eliminate these two. 1 second. We have to eliminate these elements or like that. No particular rule or no particular sequence is there in this replacement process. Based on the destination or based on the LRHS part, you have to follow these steps. Is it clear? These two examples. See this one more time. You please go through this. Go through this example one more time, ma. Given problem is this one. Negation of this second RHS part is this one. This LHS and RHS are to be, should be, you need to prove that they are equivalent. So as it is problematic subject, from our problematic subject, displaying the slide and explaining it is difficult, I to understand, but wait for 2 to 3 days more. After that, we'll be getting the board, and by using that board, I'll explain from the mostly from the next class onwards. Okay. Please go through this problem once. In the same way, go to the second problem also, what I have explained just now. Most of the times when you find any conditional or biconditional statements, first to try to remove them. After that, if you have any negation outer to the term, then try to apply that negation to every variable inside that brackets. Something like De Morgan's law you need to apply. De Morgan's law, and after that you have to apply distribution law. Most of the cases in our examples we'll use these problems. I mean these laws only: De Morgan's law, distributive law, and identity law, double negation law. We'll use this. So is it clear for everyone? If you are clear with this, I'll stop my today's session. And BEFA teacher has uploaded some general questions related to business, and you please attempt that quiz. If you are clear with this replacement process, what I have explained now, I'll stop this session and I'll start the quiz. You please attempt that question, attempt those questions. Let me know. Are you clear with this? Shall I start the quiz? $569, are you there? Unmute and respond. 569. 19 BD 569. BD 569. Abhishek, I told you no, you have to log in with your rule number, ma. Otherwise, I'll not give you attendance. Abhishek, am I audible? Why you people are not responding? 569, Abhishek, unmute and respond. You just logged in and you are not listening the class, right? 569. Unmute and tell me. How many times I should call you? 569? Are you clear with today's topic? What I explained today? Okay, ma. Now the time is 2:40, so I'll start the BEFA quiz and I'll give you 15 minutes of time. At 2:55, I'll close that. So you start I'll start the quiz and I'll let you know. You can attempt that.